Given that you believe human beings are exacerbating climate change, shouldn't you agree that we ought to transition away from fossil fuels?
Well, no, I don't agree with that. My contention is I don't know. I do believe global temperatures are rising. I'm not willing to say definitively it's anthropogenic, meaning it's human activity. But if you connect the two, I asked the question I asked earlier, how much? Are there any other contributing factors to rising global temperatures other than human activity? If so, what are they, and to what degree do they factor into rising global temperatures? But sure, you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, I was wondering, how can you not know whether climate change is happening when a recent survey of 88,125 climate-related studies done by Institute of Physics cites that more than 99.9% of peer-reviewed scientific papers agree that climate change is caused by human activity?
How much? So how much of the global temperature rising is because of human activity? No. What percentage? Is it 70%, 80%, 85%, 5%, 1%? Because that's not what the study said. They're saying that human activity is contributing to part of the increase. What part? They don't know. That's debated.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
So like there's actually a statistics or a study done that suggests that climate related disasters are 8 times more likely than in 1980s.
Well, hold on a second. You know that we have less people dying because of quote-unquote climate-related disasters thanks to fossil fuels? We have less people dying because of extreme exposure to cold, hurricanes, because of the advancements we have thanks to fossil fuels. You know, this idea, it's very interesting in modern society. We take for granted the idea of having widespread shelter, heating, or air conditioning in extreme climates thanks to hydrocarbons, we take for granted. That used to be a leading cause of death of human beings up until 1850s. Now, if I posit your contention, climate-related catastrophes, even though, according to peer-reviewed studies, that climate-related catastrophe death is actually at all-time low, the question is then for you, which is, what would you get rid of, when, and what would the cost of that be? That is the question, so please answer that.
Well, I was just wondering, like, you know, you didn't really answer my question, but I was, obviously I can't give you like exact percentage of numbers, but I do think that we ought to transition away from fossil fuel, right? Like, I'm not against growth or development. I obviously agree with you that, you know, the Industrial Revolution, like economic growth is good. It's lifting people out of poverty. That's obviously good, right? But in developed countries today, where we have the ability to not damage our economy, but also benefit the environment, shouldn't we do that?
Okay, so give me an example. What specifically would you ban? You're king for a day. What would you ban? Would you ban liquid natural gas? Would you ban nuclear? Would you ban fracking? Would you ban, what kind of hydrocarbons would you ban? Give me the examples, and you're king for a day. What would you do?
Well, see, I wouldn't like straight up ban something, right? And so I'm not advocating for like, you know, just like fossil fuels, we end fossil fuels like immediately.
That's a mature answer. Good for you. No, I mean that. That's because the radicals don't always say that. Please continue.
Right. So I'll argue for like market-based solutions, a transition away. Like for example, I think in 2020, like the government funded $5.9 trillion to fossil fuel companies. I would say that instead of investing this money, $5.9 trillion to fossil fuel companies.
That doesn't sound right. But you might be in tax credits, maybe, or tax breaks. That doesn't sound right.
Subsidies.
No, that's 5.9 billion, probably not trillion. There's no way.
It's trillion.
Yeah, well, the federal budget was 3.8 trillion. So there's no way we spent more than our federal budget.
No.
But I'm going to help you out. It's probably billion. Did you say trillion or billion?
It's trillion. It's done by the International Monetary Fund, and probably it's not.
It's not possible. I mean, I'm sorry to.
I'm not saying just in the United States.
Oh, okay, worldwide. All right, then that might be conceivable.
Right.
Sure.
So I mean, yeah. But anyways, so I would say instead of subsidizing these fossil fuels companies, I would say that take these subsidies to renewables and other forms of cleaner energy that would be beneficial to the environment while still pertaining economic
Fair enough. Last question. So where do we get the cobalt to make the batteries, and what do we do with them? No, I'm asking. Where do you recommend we get the cobalt to make the batteries?
Wait, can I answer? So like your argument is about this mining argument, right? Like.
No, I'm asking a question, dude. Like where do we get it from? Yeah, so then how about this? How and where should we dispose of the incredibly acidic, sometimes radioactive batteries that electric vehicles use? Where should we dispose of them?
But that argument, you see, it's a straw man because you're
Answer the question.
No, I am answering question. I am literally answering your questions, right? So you're arguing about this renewable energies and their batteries and how they cause environmental harm, right?
I've asked a question. I'm not making an argument. What should we do with the batteries once we use them?
I'm saying that's a straw man because you can't.
Straw man question. That's a first. I've never been accused of a straw man question.
Because you have an underlying premise in your question that renewable energies exist in a vacuum, but you can't do that. That's not comparative analysis. You have to compare renewables with fossil fuels, with fracking and stuff.
All right, pal. How about this? How about this? You can't answer the question because deep down you know that cobalt-powered batteries are worse for the environment than liquid and natural gas and nuclear power. So you come up on here to try to virtue signal, I love the environment, but as soon as you ask me about the incredibly environmentally inefficient, destructive, animal-killing, acidic-producing batteries, you're a strong man. You're out of time. Thanks for being here tonight. Next question.
Well, that's a very interesting one, listening to Charlie Kirk and this couple of college kids, of course, debating him on climate change, but then looking at some of the causes that was well discussed, and then therefore the solution which Charlie suggested, that why not planting maybe 8 trillion trees. And of course, if you look at the causes of this climate change, for instance, that we all believe that it is mainly caused by human activities, even though we can't really tell the percentage that these human activities is really causing to this climate change, but we all understand the effect of this climate change in this very world. So first of all, we have mentioned a couple of things that are mainly the causes of this climate change. Should we talk about the fossil oil? Should we talk about the car batteries, lithium? How can we better the cover that is being used for these electric vehicles? And of course, if conservative should take some of these things very seriously for the interest of the world, how can we be able to do with for instance Elon Musk's company, that Tesla deals more in manufacturing electric batteries? So the whole question is, how should we dispose the car batteries? That has been a bigger problem. And then if you look at it even from how it was being discussed by Charlie, a very good we don't really have a good solution on where we should actually dispose this lithium battery, because we all know that lithium is very acidic, and of course it causes danger to us. And of course we have seen couple of people dying from what? Global warming. We could talk about the heat is very bad, and of course it tends to expose we human beings to danger that has led a lot of people to die. Or should we talk about the carbon monoxide? But then first of all, if you look at it, either it's industrial activities, or we talk about fracking, or we talk about production. It could be food production or any other thing, or even transportation. At the end of the day, what is the end product? And then that's when we have to discuss more when it comes to carbon monoxide. It's very bad for human. It's very bad as we inhale it, and then it's one of the reasons that is causing some of this global warming. But then at the end of the day, even if we decide to plant 2 trillion trees, does it really fix the problem? Even if we decide to stop deforestation, but then there are other things, activities that we all do that will still cause it. But then if you look at it at the end of the day, it now depends on me and you. How do we make this world safe? How can we make it a better place? Because the moment we keep on putting blames on others without actually fixing the real problems, then we can't be able we will end up not having a world to stay. If you look at this very college kid that was saying that, okay, why not ban it, so that of course we can just walk to the grocery store? But then at the end of the day, are we going to the Marxist? Are we becoming a communist? Should the government control everything? That is bad. That is not freedom. So how can we be able to avoid some of these things? We can't be able to say, so how can you be able to travel or even your goods from one place to another? Should we return back to the times of the animals that people we are using donkeys to carry things and travel, camels and the rest of it? Should we go back to such age? But even at that, even before the invention of the electric cars, how we are the people, you understand, living, and why we are they still, you understand, having this global warming that people were dying out of heat. I just wonder. I don't even want to talk more about cold, because I could say that people may not necessarily die much. If we should look at it in some based on percentage, we can say that a lot of people are dying because of cold, but we can say that people are dying, a lot of people are dying because of heat, and all these things in some are being caused by what? The climate change. And then that is the reasons why we as humans, we have to work together collectively in order to fix some of this problem. But of course, I know that a lot of you have thought and opinion, and I wanted to drop it at the comment section. And may God bless you as you do so. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, should like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Goodbye.